Y'all, welcome and good morning to Keys to the Streets. It is the 4th of July, Independence Day for America, not for Black people in Texas because that was
That
Juneteenth.
was
But,
happy 4th of July.
right, welcome, Tim. Thank you for being on this holiday episode. It's also our 22nd episode.
Shout
For
out.
all you people, numerology people, what does 22 mean? I have no idea, but I'm feeling good.
It's a
How you
double
feeling,
number. I,
Tim?
I guess that's a positive because it's a double number.
Good. Yeah, we gonna say it's positive. But yes, like we said, it is a holiday for some. Some people are celebrating. I'm enjoying this day as a restful day.
And I'm
I'm a
barbecue
part of the
brisket.
nap and rest ministry. So yes, I hope Black people are getting rest today. I understand there are definitely mixed feelings about these holidays or this holiday, but I hope everyone is at least practicing self-care on this day.
Barbecue
Now,
chicken. Make sure you get some brisket.
yes.
And make sure y'all are still being safe out here. Make sure you're wearing your sunscreen. Over SPF 30, please. We got to be mindful.
Yes, and y'all know, it's the holiday. I'm in the hood, so if you hear fireworks in the background, it's really litty over here.
Ah.
Really litty, okay?
Let's get started.
So yes, let's get started. How was your weekend, Tim? What you get into? What streets you get into this week?
I didn't get into any streets per se. I had a lot of sports stuff going on over the weekend. So there was an MMA fight over the weekend. I don't want to butcher that man's name, but the main card of UFC 267, I made sure that I tuned into that. Also, the USFL, it's their first year, and they had a championship football game yesterday, and it was fantastic. It was a really good game. I know some people think the NFL is king. I am a football fan, so I will watch any and every football that comes out as long as it's a good product. And I cannot believe it. The USFL actually put out a good product. So I'm looking forward to more spring ball in the next couple of years here. So yeah, that's mainly what I did. I just kind of hung out. I actually watched a little baseball, and it didn't put me to sleep. So yeah, I think for sports wise, it was a good weekend.
Oh, well, thank you with the sports updates.
Of course.
You're the best for that. Now, as far as me, you know me, I be on the art scene. So there were several art shows this past weekend. I was on the go and was only able to make it to one of the art shows. And that show was at Cloud Tree Studios, and it was a Jacob Guzman show. And man, when I tell you that show was amazing, it was called Soul Focus, and like it was just an amazing show. His artwork is just, I don't know, it makes me think of jazz and like abstract, almost like, I don't know, like ancestral. Like you'll get kind of like caveman hieroglyphic feels.
Okay.
Like it's amazing work. So if you can, and I think it's up at least for the next week or so, go check that out on Fifth Street. It's amazing. Soul Focus is a good art show for sure. Other than that, I was eating. I was really checking out the scene as far as food. Because I wanted to go to a couple restaurants. I checked out Fix downtown. Their biscuits, I see why people are talking about their biscuits. Fix has amazing biscuits. So yes, other than that, we just been celebrating all the changes and things that are happening in Austin as well as we can and making the most of it. Let me say that. Recently, council passed a minimum wage for city workers for $22 an hour, basically looking at the cost of living, as it's getting very, very expensive to live in Austin. So, it's cool to think that they are thinking of people here, but again, that only impacts city workers. So that doesn't change minimum wage or the pay at other in other industries or for other employers. But I do think that it was a good look and a good way to set the precedence for raising the wages here with inflation, with, like I said, cost of living, with home ownership. It is really important for people to make more money.
Right. That's very good to hear. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Forbes released an article not too long ago about how much money you need to make, to just make the bare minimum to live efficiently in Austin. And currently, in order to live in Austin and kind of, not necessarily be on a check to check type of basis, you need to be making at least $27 an hour.
And that is as a single individual, not having a family or anything like that.
That was a article that Forbes released last year. And that's on a single income. That's not if you have a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, etc. If you want to live comfortably without having to, of course, again, go check to check, you need to be making at least $27 an hour.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for that input. And as we're continuing to talk about things happening in Austin, ACL just released some more artists that will be on the lineups.
Most definitely.
And we had some, local bands and faces on that lineup. So shout out to Urban Heat, the band, as well as Jake Lloyd's band. So really some seasoned vets and professionals on Austin scene getting that good look from ACL. So I'm really excited about that as I continue to see the lineup unfold. I think ACL is going to, it's coming back even stronger. This is going to be the second year after the pandemic. I think their first year, last year, they kind of were just getting their footing back. But I think it's going to be even stronger this year. So I'm looking forward to ACL.
I'm looking to see record-breaking crowds. But to kind of hone back in on the point though, it's good to see Austin talent getting recognized in the festival scene, ACL, South by Southwest. That's what these festivals were for. I understand with the popularity and the large amount of people that move here on a weekly, it can, you get bigger sponsors, your festival gets a little bigger, you get bigger names. But the most important thing is to recognize the talent that is in the city. We are the live music capital of the world. I'd like to stick to that, and it's good to see that because I'd say for a good 10 years, I didn't really feel that way. So it's good to see Austin talent getting recognized and getting put on these big stages.
And Austin Black talent, I want to say that too, because it's really good to see them start getting those looks. I know Mama Duke was announced earlier. To see a queer woman get on the lineup, and actually in the first announcements of the lineup, I'm just like, it's really cool to see that diversity and to see our faces and to see, we say all the time we're not monolithic, but to see us in different lanes, in bands, in rock bands, grunge bands, punk bands, R&B bands, solo, musicians, instrumentalists, all those different things. To see this look, I'm proud of Austin in that way, in that regard. I think they started it with South by. They did really well, and trying to give the local scene more of a platform, and so it's a continuation from South by. So again, a good look. I'm excited.
Most definitely.
Also, we still, Black Music Month was last month, but we still got concerts and events and I'm excited to see the events coming down the line, especially for July. What you got, Tim?
What I got, again, I'm looking, not necessarily in July, but again, that August 7th R&B concert, I will be in attendance.
Summer Jam? We were talking about July. So let's start with July, and then we're going to get to the Summer Jam.
Well, I don't really have anything. I don't really have anybody that I want to see, per se.
I'll go with mine. Thank you.
Kendrick Lamar is in July.
Devin the Dude is going to be at Antone's on July 8th. So that's going to be a good look. IDK is going to be at Empire Control Room on the 16th.
Right. Yep.
And then we got Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem on July 21st at the Moody Center.
I like me some Baby Keem.
I really like Baby Keem too. We're going to have Baby Keem. We're going to have to drop his song in the mix coming up because I really like me some Baby Keem. But yes, July is going to be a nice music month for us, a continuation of Black Music Month. I guess, last month we really focused on that local talent. There were a lot of good local shows that were happening. And then for July, they're continuing it with bringing in some really cool names and big names to really just showcase a continuation of the culture being out and about, because I definitely know that Kendrick Lamar show going to be lit.
Oh yeah, it's going to be... That's gonna be a spectacle for sure. And shout out to the $3 million crown made by Tiffany and Company.
I still don't know how I feel about the Thorn crown. It was nice. It was icy.
It was super icy. It was.
But I'm like,
I get the symbolism. Like, he has been deemed the savior of rap. Some people believe this, again, the last album actually had some pretty surprising numbers, as it didn't really
Mr. Morale.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. It did not hit as far as like record sales like they were projecting, but it's still overall a pretty good look. I'm still not a fan of We Cry Together. That's nothing against the song. That's just not for my palate right now, and it's being played everywhere. But
that's my least liked song on that album.
Right.
I mean, I get it for the sake of the project.
Right.
And he always likes to have something very provocative in his projects, from either a track or interlude or something like that. Right. So it is very Kendrick Lamar-esque. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm like, I think sometimes it makes me think of Dave Chappelle when he chose to step away from comedy for a while, and chose to turn down the deal. It's like, I'm making this as a satire to talk about this situation. Right. But if everybody is laughing at me and not with me, then maybe this joke is going over your head and I need to take a step back. I feel you. Right. But, it is what it is. I definitely am looking forward to seeing him grace Austin. I'm proud of Austin for getting some of these shows to come back, these Black shows. Yeah. Like you said, August 7th, there is the Summer Jam. And that's going to be, that's going to be a millennials playground. Like the nostalgia. I'm so excited.
I want to hear where the party at, man. So bad. I want to hear it.
I definitely want to hear Jagged Edge. Like, I can't lie. Silk, next in RL, like if he sing We Can't Be Friends,
oh man,
let me tell you how I'm gonna be. To just act like we never were. Oh no, I'm gonna break down in my field.
In your feelings.
Hey, Holiday, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
But anyways, we're gonna talk about, some, I would say, not so fun things, but things that are happening in the world globally and things that affect us.
Gotta talk about it.
Right? So let's just get into it. Brittany Griner. So the trial began in Russia.
Yes.
With Brittany Griner. They had day one of the trial. And basically, it confirmed everything we already knew, that she was wrongfully detained.
Yes.
As, the details and the facts and the information have come out of the trial. Mm-hmm. It was confirmed that she had 0.7 of THC or 0.7 TH of a gram.
That's nuts.
Right. And based on Russian law, that would have just been a fine. So she would have just been fined, whether it was planted or whether that was hers. That is what the law states. So we know that her being detained for this amount of time, honestly, we think it's something bigger. Of course, as it relates to political affairs. But I hate for her to be caught in the crossfire. Yeah, I try I got to remember we on air, and I don't want a Kanye George Bush moment, but
Hey, hey, you can. It just feels. It's a nasty feeling.
yeah,
It's not right. Um, again, I have my views. I definitely feel like because she's a woman of color, she's a basketball celebrity, that they felt like, hey, let's make an example. It happens. It's unfortunate. I hate it. But with what's going on over there, it just seems like that was a great opportunity for the government to make an example. And it's nasty. And I hope she gets home safe and sound. And I hope I definitely feel like she's going to uh, need some type of counseling. I can't wait to hear her speak. I just want to see where her mind frame is. We don't know what kind of contact she had. She may not have had contact with anybody so yeah, I definitely just wanted to get her back over here, man. It's nasty. It's very
yes,
nasty.
definitely bring her back, and let's, in the meantime, support her and her family, and just,
She's missing ball. This is her
right,
time to shine.
right.
WNBA season kicked off a couple of weeks ago. She's supposed to
Stop
be on.
playing with her livelihood, man.
Yeah,
Like, it's
she's
just
supposed to be on the court right now.
right. But yes, like, we're just hoping she gets home safely and stays in good spirits in the meantime. But yeah, moving on. I don't continue to have bad news, but I don't know if everyone has heard about Jalen Walker in Akron, Ohio, who
Yeah,
was, killed there. And it's still, the details are still a little hazy as they continue to come out, but we know how that happens.
yep,
This isn't our first rodeo, but it was 8 officers who shot around 90 rounds at him, and he was hit 60 times.
right.
And like I said, the details are still being released, but it has really had people in an uproar in Ohio. There are hashtags, and people are trying to bring attention to this. So we will continue to follow what's happening in Akron, Ohio. And in the meantime, just wish support for Jalen's family, and for us, for
Yeah,
everybody, yeah, it's crazy. Crazy things are happening.
yeah.
So
Um, it's also going a little bit more detail. Jalen Walker was unarmed. Um, there are some videos out there. They're very very sketchy. Don't necessarily know what's right and what's wrong. But still, 8 officers, one man, 60 bullets hit
yeah,
a body, and that's inhumane. And I hope justice is served. We all know how that blue wall works. But I really, really, really hope that justice is served, because it's like, what do we do?
yeah,
What can anybody do? I think about that stuff all the time. I'm 6 foot. I'm over. I'm over 250 pounds. I come off, even though I'm not an aggressive person, just me looking at somebody, and I know we've had these conversations before off air. We could just be talking to each other, and somebody will think, "Hey, y'all are
right,
being aggressive." No, we're just arguing about a spades game, or talking about each other, or roasting each other. There's no aggressiveness there. We're
yeah,
just being who we are. We just living, and it just, I don't know what person deserves 60 bullets in
yeah,
their body. This man wasn't shooting up a school. He was unarmed and got shot 60 times. How, as a parent, that man's parents, I can't even fathom. Like, how do you, I don't know. I don't know.
it's trying times, man. Yeah, and I think it's It's crazy that we're talking about this on Independence Day, and I think
Independence Day.
right. And I think that's why it does have people having a lot of mixed feelings, especially having Juneteenth being such an ironic day in Texas. This is when Black people in Texas found out they were free. And how many years was that after 1776 when America gained its independence?
It makes me laugh because it's just so crazy, because it's like, are we really free? Like, it's like I'm laughing to contain the anger.
Right, you gotta laugh.
Like, you have to laugh at it. Like you can't really, or you'll be just sick all the time. Like, you have to find the I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just move on. Like, it's crazy.
Right. And I mean, speaking of that, there was a proposal to call slavery involuntary location that was put forth by the Texas State Board of Education. Well, let me be clear. The Texas State Board of Education has rejected a proposal by a group of educators to describe the slave trade as involuntary relocation in second grade classes. Listen, like, this was put forth by educators.
I cannot express how important it is to know your congressman, no matter what part of the city or state that you're in. It is important to know. It is important to check out these policies, because some of this stuff that is getting passed is absolutely absurd.
Absolutely.
You have, like, if you, at this point in time, if you don't know your congressman, if you don't know how to look for your congressman, if you need help, get to somebody. Like, you have to know what's going on in your neighborhood. You have to know what's going on in your city. It is important in the state. It is important to know what's going on at every level.
Absolutely.
Every level.
Yeah, I'm like, between Roe v. Wade being overturned, I try not to bring in my political beefs and things like that and my political stances. But it's just crazy to me how we are in Texas and we are in a place that is pro-life, but also pro-death penalty. I'm like, you can't have them both.
Make that work. How does that work? How does that work?
Make it make sense. So it's just, like I said, crazy things. Crazy things are happening. And also, the king of R&B got sentenced to 30 years.
30 years.
R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years for all those crimes. I'm like, do we do a rundown? Probably not. But
on a Rolodex of how many, even the stuff that's happened recently with the man trying to break into the jail. I don't know if he was trying to break in or if he was trying to visit. I have no idea. I just know that man was detained. That's very... The R. Kelly thing is very nasty. I still don't understand, like, half of that stuff. I understand he got punished, but, within that trial and some of the stuff that's come out about some of these parents allowing this stuff to happen because they were getting paid.
Yeah. I'm not going to rehash all of that because
can they get punished too?
Right.
Because you're allowing this to happen? And I know it's not every single person, but there's some eyesores there that stick out. Like,
you're right.
And I'm just like, how are these parents, some of these parents, allegedly getting away with this? How did this happen?
The price of fame, man. The price of fame. Like, it's crazy. I'll be on IG sometimes and I'll see a 9-month-old with the IG page. And it's like people trying to, go viral with their children, poking fun or pranking their kids when it's not even funny. No. It's just the price of fame, man. But, moving on, because we can't end Keys to the Streets on a bad note. So while the king of R&B got 30 years, the prince of R&B is about to do a versus. Did you see Usher's Tiny Desk? Oh my God.
Of course.
Mind blown. It was amazing.
Oh, okay, so to be fair, him having Eric Bellinger there was not fair.
That was a flex.
Eric Bellinger
definitely was not fair at all.
Eric Bellinger, and if y'all don't know who Eric Bellinger is, go do your research, do your Googles. That man is a beast. He can write, he can sing, he can do it all. Yeah. He can play instruments. Like, that dude is a monster. And he had him singing background.
Yeah, like he really, like, game over before he even started. Like, he didn't have to do that. And if he bring him out for the verses, I mean, you know, he going against Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown is our age.
Has that been confirmed? Has that been confirmed?
I thought it was confirmed. Let me see. I've been seeing the flyer go around.
That was a mock-up. If you're talking about the one where, like, Usher's sitting down.
No, they at their face-to-face on, like, the verses.
Oh, well, that's going to break the internet. I don't think Instagram will crash. Like, Triller will crash. Like, this is a big thing. And don't get me wrong, like, Chris Brown, fire. He is fire. However...
Okay, I could be wrong. We might have to cut that out. I just feel like I've seen it everywhere, though. Let me see. But maybe we've really created this in our minds.
We did. Because Chris Brown did not... Like, he just got interviewed on Saturday. He didn't agree to this.
He wants one, though.
But he said it would be a celebration, not a verse.
Let's see. I don't know. You're right. Chris Brown been calling him out, but Usher ain't biting. Usher's like, excuse me. I cannot. Okay?
Man, listen. Chris Brown got some heat. Usher got some heat. But listen. And this is just me. I know I'm not about to bring that other guy up. But there's only one album to me that even comes close to Confessions. And that's TP2. It's TP2, maybe Chocolate Factory. But, like, how many classic R&B albums have you heard? Oh, well, you could throw Frank Ocean, Channel Orange.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like Confessions is a top tier. It is the quintessential R&B album. If you asked me what R&B rhythm and blues of the 90s to the 2000s and asked me to give you one album, I would give you that album. Maybe Jamie Foxx's Unpredictable, but I'm like, that's a personal favorite. But I'm like, Confessions, front to back, you are in your feelings. You are getting Flowetry, Michael Jackson, Prince, D'Angelo. You getting everything. You getting the 90s R&B band. You getting all of that in Confessions. So I just feel like that is the epitome of R&B. So...
And that album came out in 2004.
And Usher's still killing it. He just dropped a track with City Girls. He in there skating.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
Cascade.
Listen, let me tell you something. I will come out of retirement and put skates on.
Let me tell you something.
I
will not.
I used to be a frequent skater. Frequent. I will come out of retirement if somebody throw that skate party.
Well, definitely. You're not finna see me on those skates now.
You too clumsy?
Yeah, it's been too long.
It's just like riding a bike.
No, it's not. I don't ride bikes either, so.
You don't ride bikes?
No, I had a freak accident on a bike. I got hit by a car on a bike when I was a kid. I don't like bikes. I rode a bike for the first time, like, I think this year, and it was one of those motorized bikes, and it was downtown. It was so scary. I survived. Like, talk about facing your fear. I was with a group of people. I didn't tell them that I had got hit by a car on a bike because I knew they might watch me too much. and then it will freak me out. I mean, I was in the back of the pack for the whole ride, but I survived.
You're paranoid for sure.
I'm not paranoid. What you mean? I'm a black person on the bike. Since when they care about us downtown? They only widening the roads when they start gentrifying it.
Well, they don't care unless it's like an event, and then they don't want us going into their bars. But anyway,
like we said, y'all go out in the city. Please tell us what's happening. Send me flyers, details, invites, all those things. You can find me on Twitter and IG at HEIR_LESS. Tim, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tim Wayne and on Instagram, Tim_Wayne. That's how you find me.
Thank y'all for tuning into Keys to the Streets. As always, grand rising, you beautiful kings and queens. Look at me, I got it. See?
Grand rising.
Welcome to the dark side.
Hey.
Bye, Tim.
Bye.